Probably one of the most incredible nights in the history of our planet was the night that Jesus was born. You know, we think of the shepherds and the angels and the singing and all the glory that was there. Something else took place, I believe, that has a great lesson for us to learn that took place around the time of the birth of Christ. Matthew chapter 2, verse 1 says this: Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judah, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen a star in the east and have come to worship him. So here are these wise men, come from hundreds of miles away to worship a newborn king. Can you imagine their surprise as they come into Jerusalem and the response is not quite what they expected? Notice what it says in verse 3. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. You know, you could wonder, why did God send a star to Jerusalem instead of to Bethlehem? I think there's a reason. Here you have these faith-filled seekers that are heathen trying to find truth, and they're coming to a faithless, fearful people who really don't care. Notice what happens in verse 4. Herod actually demands the chief priests and the scribes to search and find out where this young king is supposed to be born. And their response is this in verse 5 and 6. And they said unto him, In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, Thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. They have an answer. They go to the Word, they find the truth, they give the truth. These faithless, fearful people give the truth from the Word to the faithful people who are seeking. Isn't it interesting? God is using His people, faithless though they may be, to give the Word to those who are seeking. How can it be that those who don't have faith can actually inspire faith in those who are seeking for it? You know, these wise men go on, and soon they find the newborn prince, and they bow at his feet and worship him. But we don't hear much more about the scribes and chief priests, except later on they do end up rejecting Christ. What's the difference? Why? And the Bible tells us in Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12 that God's word, in fact, I have it here, is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, pierces even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, of joints and marrow. It's a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. God's word has the power to go to the very depths, inner depths of our heart and life, and to change us. But too many times, the sword of God, which is the word, is held in our hands, but we don't allow it to cut into our lives, our personal inner lives. We hold it, we use it, but we don't let it do something in us. You know, it's my prayer for you, for me, that we will let God's word cut, come close, not just hold it and swing it, but we will let it do its work in our lives. So as it says in 1 Peter, we will have this incorruptible seed being raised in us so that we can have new life. I want to be a person who not just holds the sword, but lets it do something in my life. I pray that that can be our experience with His Word.